this year the Queen Quet coming on from this year, Port Royal, South Kakalaki, Port Royal Island in South Kakalaki, in Beaufort County. We are about to do a dedication today, and a wonderful dedication that we don't often see in this county of something that's actually a natural area, a Cypress, a wetlands. Many times y'all hear us on the show talking about how all of those are being built on or encroached upon. So this is an honor to actually have the town of Port Royal want to redo one so that all of you can come see. And if Hunter Chilla know that Hunter did with me, Hunter going know that this year know what going on. So tune in to this dedication. Peace and blessings.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We'd like to take this opportunity to welcome you to the dedication and the ribbon cutting of the Cypress Wetland Park. I'd like to pause at this moment to introduce some of our guests, and Councilman Lee will introduce others, and also our manager will do some others. Between these glasses that I have on and the town manager's writing, I'm going to see what I can We are happy to have with us our retired council person, council, mayor, some of everything in the town of Port Royal, Henry Robinson. Bill McBride from Beaufort County Council. Where's Bill? Somebody over there. Laura Von Harton from Beaufort County Council. Joe DeVito, Metro Planning Commission. Just looked up to see my partner in crime from the city of Beaufort, Billy Kaiser. Now I'm gonna have a problem with this one. Queen Quet, chiefness of the Gullah Geechee Nation. Jim Crowell from Metro Planning. Jim? He's always at Chris Steele from Congressman Joe Wilson's office. Chris? Where's Joe Shirley, Port Royal Principal?
Good replacement.
Okay. And the last one I have is Reed Armstrong. He's over here. The others will be introduced a little later. I was trying to figure out what would I say in a short period of time because, well, let's make sure we get through this. Clean water, good fishing, and outdoor water sports depend upon the healthy rivers and wetlands. How can we protect our rivers and wetlands? We can start by managing stormwater. You will see today that we have attempted to restore the Cypress wetland to its natural state before it was destroyed by construction of roads and buildings. Just a few facts about the Cypress wetland. I'll leave the rest for the town manager to give you all the details and costs and so forth. The total available storage in the Cypress 15th Street wetlands and duck blind wetlands equal about 16 million gallons when they are at their lowest water level. The main Cypress wetland between the YMC over there and the 16th Street holds the majority of the storm water. It can hold about 14 million gallons when it's at its lowest level. The total drainage area that drains into the Cypress wetland, 15th Street wetland, and duck blind is about 194 acres. Overall, the wetland is a half mile of connected walking trails. Cypress wetland include red maple, willow, and buttonbush wetland at the north end, with 2 nestling islands in the middle here. Secluded wetlands provide a refuge for birds and other wildlife. Please minimize your noise as you go around through the wetland. Use the trailhead trash cans and only take pictures and leave only footprints. 5 boardwalks give one great view of the flora of the wetlands. On the Richmond Avenue, overlooking about 1,000 feet of main walkway, you get close to the nesting birds in the spring and see the waddling birds, ducks, and other wildlife throughout the year. The wetland flows south on a small bridge to the Ball Cypress stream downstream. The wetland between 15th and 14th Street has the oldest and the tallest ball cypress trees in the area, and an interior boardwalk with benches. Along Richmond Avenue and the 12th Street duck blind, tile, and freshwater pond sports many species of fish, duck, and waddling birds. There is a bench along the causeway that divides the pond, the picnic table at the park along 11th Street. Walking along the marsh, one can venture south to the tile, overlooking on the river boardwalk. Along the water, one can see the dolphins, waddling birds, shorebirds, and river otters. And you can also enjoy the sandy beach down there on the beach. At this time, I'd like to call up Councilman Joe Lee and Councilman Tom Klein. Councilperson Mary Beth Hayward has a new grandbaby, so you know where she is. She's in Atlanta, Georgia. And Councilman Vernon Loach, he had an important doctor's appointment in Savannah, Georgia, and he would love to have changed that to be here, but he said he better go ahead and stay with that appointment. So Joe is one of the kind of spearheads of this Cypress wetland. I think he gave us updates just about every week on progress of this place. Joe?
Thank you, Mayor. I'm going to reserve my remarks till the end when we start the tours here, but I do want to welcome everybody. I want to make this go fast so we can avoid the rain and everybody get a chance to walk around the wetlands. So I'll come back to this a little bit later on.
It's incredible. Every morning I come up here and walk around the wetlands. It's part of my rehab for a hip replacement that I had in December. And just seeing the progress that was taking place here each morning as we walked through it was great. But the people that have started enjoying this area, and now it's just incredible. If you come here in the early mornings or early evenings, the people here taking their photos, just enjoying the wildlife, and you stop and say, it's in the middle of Port Royal. It's in the middle of the town. It's an incredible project that had taken place here. And I'd also like to thank the Department of Public Works people. Wetlands is going to be rededicated to. There are the heartbeat of the town, the sanitation services they provide, unending support through the festivals and help with the nonprofits that take place here. These guys are an asset to the town too, in addition to the wetlands.
Thank you, Joe. On to the program at this time. Our town manager, Van Willis, will come forward and he will talk about stormwater, watershed, and how this wetland actually operates and the cost of it and how it actually works. Well, we'll see.
Well, a couple things before I start. I worked with Henry Robinson for 9 years, and our meetings started at either 6:30 or 7, and it was a routine for me to call at 6:25 or 6:55. Well, now that he's retired, he's a half hour early for everything. So I'd like to congratulate him on that. Second, I hope y'all appreciate how difficult it was to get those birds to fly over here.
Yes, you did a good job.
Right on cue. Reminds me of a story. I was in Seabrook Island trying to get a town hall built, and we used to meet in the old Bohica Marina, had a leaky roof and had some issues. So we organized this public meeting to gather support to build the building. And not 15 minutes before, the heavens let loose. And I had buckets all over the room. Water was pouring in. People walked in and said, okay, that's what we understand. But real quickly, before I recognize the folks, I just want to touch on kind of the intent of this project. If many of you recall, and some of you will see the before and after pictures, what we had was an old kind of observation areas, a step-down section, and we had, obviously some stormwater. I got here in August of 2002, and it started raining. And what we quickly found out was there was no outfall for this wetland, and it would typically overflow its bounds, and we started having some problems. Initially, we looked at running that stormwater right out of down 18th Street, but then we discovered some aerials that Linda had in the office, and it quickly identified that there was a series of connected wetlands, and we had an opportunity to create what was originally here. And so that's what we did. Beyond just that little piece of it, we also saw an opportunity to create an attraction for folks. Obviously, economic development and driving foot and pedestrian, or foot traffic and vehicle traffic to Paris Avenue is pretty important this time. So we said, why not complete this as the attraction it was intended to be and let it serve its function as stormwater. So I'll touch on the details of the funding. Basically, there were two streams here. One was stormwater fees that we collect with your tax bills, which I'm sure you all recognize. And second is the tax increment financing district. This parcel was included in the original parcels that were there. And so we're able to use those funds. There were no general funds used whatsoever, no taxes whatsoever through the general fund. So we were able to get that done. Combined, I'm sure Tony will correct me if I'm wrong, I think total this is about 600,000, give or take a little bit. We'd like to keep that one sign that we had up there that Tony made us take down that talked about the stormwater piece. But the vertical element was real detail. And there goes my speech. But there were some minor adjustments made, but we're real proud of the fact that what I consider probably the best management what we're doing is filtering out several times over before it ever gets out to the river, which I think is key, and I think we're pretty proud of what we've done. That's really all I'm going to say about stormwater. I think it's pretty self-evident. What Joe has arranged is for tours for you guys. We'll touch on a little bit later, which might give you a little better explanation of what you're actually seeing here. What I'd like to do is recognize a number of people that were involved in this process. I'd like to start with ATM, Applied Technology Management. Tony, Bridget, Michael, you guys are fantastic. Have any of y'all read the Steve Jobs book yet? He's kind of a past master. Well, in this project, I got to be the good cop, and Tony got to be the bad cop. He kind of was my filter when we'd come across things that I wasn't particularly pleased with, we were able to get done, and I think it worked out tremendously well. Obviously, the guys that you saw here every day, Joe Co-Construction, Tommy, Jamie, Joe, I don't know where you guys right there. Absolutely fantastic job. We always came up with other ways of doing things, and we discovered some shortcomings and changes, and these guys were very accommodating. They made it happen, so I'm really appreciative of that effort. I don't see Cooter here, but Allison Ramsey played a role in some of the vertical elements you see in some of the decisions that were made. Very happy with them. Greenery, these guys stepped up. A lot of landscaping you see. You see the cypress trees that are out there on the street behind you. I think Mike is here. Mike and your crew are here. Jerry's not here, but I think, again, these guys are out here this morning. I think I saw 3 separate guys blowing off the area where you're sitting right now, so it's as clean as it's going to get. So we're real happy with that. Chris Marsh, I think I saw you here also. Chris was very instrumental in helping us pull this together, helping us identify the species and kind of pushing us in this direction. As he mentioned to me, it only took us 10 years to complete this, so not too bad. So for those of you who don't know, we created the middle 2 islands about 10 years ago, and then did some of the pathways, but as you can imagine, back in the 1999-2000, we didn't really have the money put together to make this project happen, so we saved our pennies and we were able to pull it off. So we're real happy with that. A couple of folks I cannot cannot forget as well is YMCA, Fred, Mike. I think I saw you guys here. Most of you should know this was originally a lot of their property, and they worked with us in the easements to make this happen. And what you see here is a cooperative effort between the town and the Y. So we think it's an asset to them. It certainly makes, you might not know by looking at me, it certainly makes the treadmills and the elliptical machines a little easier to get on when you can look outside and see this. So real pleased with that. And obviously the Keith family as well. We were able to work with them on some easements that allowed us to complete the pathway around the outside. So we're very happy also. For us, this is really a quality of life project. I think it's a true asset to the town. I think Tom's remarks really hit it on the head. I see people out there, the sense of isolation that you get when you get behind there on that boardwalk is pretty profound. And I think it speaks well to the installation and the design. So I'm real happy with how this turned out. I think Joe's going to talk about this a little bit, but I wanted to also echo Tom's remarks about our Public Works Department. It should be noted that in 1997 we dedicated this park to those folks, and I thought it was absolutely essential that we rededicate it to that department. As you'll note, the original plaque is up there on that side, and the new plaque is right in front of those guys right there. So you get an opportunity, please look it over. Please thank these guys for all the work that they do. They really, really make this town run, and I really do appreciate their efforts. And with that being said, I'd like to go back
we wanted to take this opportunity to recognize one of the Public Works employees. The citizens, residents of Port Royal have gotten together and wanted to acknowledge this gentleman. We all that walk around the town every morning see this man cleaning the waste baskets and keeping the town clean. Recognize him by his orange hard hat and his dedication, and if you ever speak to him, you realize that he's a great ambassador for the town of Port Royal. The residents have gotten together and have come up with a memento. I'd like to have Silas Green come down, please. Mr. Green is a veteran of World War II. He was at Normandy. We want to recognize him as a member of our greatest generation. This is a flag that has a saying on it: history does not long entrust the care of freedom to the weak or the timid. Silas, I'm really pleased to present this to you, and please keep up the good work. Everybody in town knows you. Wonderful. There's your flag. Thank you very much.
Wonderful.
That was a long walk to come down here, but I really do appreciate it. I'm going to change hats. Thank you.
Just real quick, one other little note. I know there's a couple guys from Ward Edwards here. They were involved in the very initial stages of this as well. I just want to recognize their efforts also.
This will be an experiment, folks.
How many councilmen does it take to cover it?
Yeah.
We want to thank the chamber for the loan of their scissors. I'm not sure that we had a chance to sharpen.
That's what they cut the checks with.
I've seen them when it don't work.
I know that. Yeah, I've seen that too.
1, 2, 3.
Well, how Hunter children to do this year? The Queen Quet coming to Hunter for Gullah Geechee TV Nation News one more again, and this is Mayor Murray of the town of Port Royal, right here from Port Royal Island in Beaufort County, South Kakalaki. And we're so glad to be here in Port Royal for this outstanding day to have wetlands dedicated. I know as a mayor, especially in the South here and in our county, we don't often come to dedications of things like this. We come to dedications of buildings and bridges and everything. So how do you feel about today and in being able to do such a spectacular thing for the environment?
Well, first of all, I'm glad that you invited me to talk to you this morning, and I'm excited about all the people who came out. Like you, I didn't know that many people that interested in the environment.
Yes.
But this wetland project here is basically restoring to nature like it was 100 years originally.
Right.
So we came around and did all these road construction, put up buildings that kind of blocked
Off the water. Right.
Now we have reinvented the wheel, and now we're back the way it was supposed
And we're
to
back
be.
rolling, we're back
Right.
sailing, hopefully, right?
That's right.
So now I noticed it's not just this amphitheater area, but you have a walking trail and there's a map to show you different places throughout the town. But I know some of the places in the town, are they all connected by this trail
All the
now?
wetlands are connected.
Okay.
And it's a safe haven for all type of bird species
Right.
there. As you walk around the tour, you'll see them. Other wildlife are here, ducks, and even we have a few alligators out there.
You have not only the wildlife protected and the bird species protected, but you also have a place now where the storm water is also being cleansed before it reaches the river.
Right.
And then you also have, I know you're in town of Gullah, and I noticed on the map for the Wetlands Trail that folks can actually now know exactly where to go to get to that Gullah monument. So that's excellent. So you know we want to have plenty of people are coming to Port Royal.
We love to have it.
All right.
Okay.
Yes, definitely. So y'all, you heard it from the mayor himself. Your invitation when you come to Beaufort County, South Carolina, make sure you stop in the town of Port Royal and visit the Cypress wetlands and visit all of the other historic things that happen right here in Port Royal that we're still holding on to and returning so we can keep on seeing. Thank you, Hope Children. Peace and blessings.